My name is Steve Jameson. I am the artist and owner of the Sign Man Sign Shop in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm here to tell you another interesting story of adventures here at the Sign Shop. This one happened just last week. A man came in. He looked like he was maybe about 30 years old. He came in with his wife and 2 or 3 little children. And while they were looking through the portfolios to design their sign, he started telling me the story that ever since he was a little boy, whenever he drove by my sign shop in North Myrtle Beach, his lifelong dream was that someday he would be able to afford to buy a beach house, and that he would come here and buy a sign for his beach house. And he said he'd been having that dream since he was about 10 years old. So every year his family would have a tradition of coming to the beach for the summer. And every time he drove by, that was his dream, that one day when he grew up, he would make enough money, be wealthy enough to buy a nice beach house and come here to get his beach house sign. So he said this was the day he was coming. He said actually his house was a bit humble. It's a trailer or a double wide trailer near the beach. But that was what he could afford in his budget at this time. And he was come to get a beach house sign. It would have to be a little bit small for a small house, but this was his dream come true. And his wife was looking through the portfolios. I've got this sign of a picture of a bass up here for a reason. It relates to this story. So she was looking through the book with the seashells, signs that we had done with seashells on them. And he kept hinting about wanting a picture of his boat on the sign. And every few minutes he would bring up the topic of that boat. And I know from having been here at the shop 40 years now that most women don't want a boat, or especially don't want to fish on the front of their house. Very, very few women want a fish on the front of the house. A guy can put it on his man cave, or maybe he has a hunting, fishing lodge, but not for the front of the house where his wife is. That's not usually going to happen. But this guy didn't know that. This was his first experience at designing a sign. And so finally, his wife just put her foot down and said, no, the boat is not going to go on the sign. Well, I saw a dark cloud of sadness fall over his face. I could just see the sadness pour all over his face. His dream since he was a 10-year-old boy was having this sign, and that was his idea that he would have on it. And his dream was crushed right then and there. But now things are different. Now things are changed. He has a wife and family, and he loves her and has to take her ideas into consideration. She's still looking at the seashell book. So suddenly I got an idea. I tell all my customers I'm a sign maker and a marriage counselor, because making residential signs, almost all my customers are married couples. And usually the husband doesn't care that much what goes on the sign. Usually the wife cares more. But anyway, I always try to please both customers. In fact, it's kind of odd because sometimes the dominant person in the marriage will say yes to a decision, and then I'll look at the other person who's a little bit more passive and ask if that person agrees. And it's amazing to me so many times when that person opens their eyes with a shocked look like, who, me? You're asking my opinion? And the dominant person also was kind of shocked, like, why are you asking that person? Until I said yes. But it's just natural to me to ask all parties involved if they agree to each decision in the design. Anyway, back to the story. So it suddenly popped in my mind, we could do a little sign that'd be very beautiful with a scattering of seashells across the top of the sign, which is what she wanted. And then among that scattering of seashells, we could put a fishing lure, a really pretty one, striped with a hook, some feathers, make it a nice fishing lure to indicate his love for fishing. And they both got a big smile on their face. They were both so relieved and happy. I saved the marriage for the day. So, yeah, they really, really did love it. I love the design. I get when it's finished in a few weeks, maybe I'll show it here and tell the story while I'm showing it. I'm kind of keeping it private because this is their personal story and their name is on that sign. So otherwise, I would pull the sketch out right now and show you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the story. I enjoy telling these stories. I tell them quite often, so like this video if you do, and hit the like button, and hit the subscribe button, and share it with your friends. And following this little video, there's going to be a few minutes where I'll tell you how you can go about ordering your own sign. All right, I enjoyed talking with you today. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Hello, my name is Steve Jameson. I am the artist and the owner of the Sign Man Sign Shop in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation. I make these interesting little videos quite often. So you might want to hit the like button there, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and tell your friends about us. You can find us on YouTube at The Sign Man Residential Signs. The Sign Man Residential Signs. That's our YouTube channel name. I started this business in 1983 as a commercial sign shop, but the many tourists in this area kept coming in looking for custom signs for their homes. They simply would not stop coming in. I'd be working on a big commercial job, and a married couple would come in. They're talking about what color their front door of their house. It was really in my way, but it wouldn't stop. So finally I figured this must be what God wants me to do. So I gave up doing commercial signs and I switched my business over to doing purely residential signs and small specialty boutique signs. I actually enjoy this work much more now because I get to use my artistic skills. And the residential customers appreciate this work much more than signs made purely for business. Now, I began this business making sandblasted redwood signs in 1983. But about 10 years later, in 1993, I switched over to using a high-density polymer with an imitation wood grain because it'll never rot or crack or split in any kind of weather. And then I cover the artwork on this with an ultraviolet sealer to keep it from fading in the sunlight. So these signs will last a lifetime outdoors, and they will even become a family heirloom. Now, everything we make is totally custom, and it takes us about 12 weeks. Now, most of our customers are tourists, so we work with a 50% deposit, and then we ship by FedEx. Now, we can't offer to take custom orders over the phone or internet because that's simply far too complicated to accomplish. We've tried, and after I think it's 40 years now, we realized that absolutely does not work. But we do have a website offering only one size, one shape sign, one font, and a limited range of about 4 different colors. Now, this type of sign is very popular for our customers who want a portrait of a pet. And it's actually really quite easy to order this type of sign on our website. All you need to do is email us a photo of your dog or whatever kind of pet when you place your order and make your choice of sign colors. Our website where you can do this is thesignmanresidentialsigns.com. That's all one word, thesignmanresidentialsigns.com. But for all you people who would like a custom order, you will need to visit our showroom in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in person. Our showroom is open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m., so we're very convenient. You can stop in anytime when you're in town, Or if you're coming from afar, you might want to make an appointment just to make sure that we're not closed for a while. Our phone number is 843-272-3820, and our email is wodenart@aol.com. Now, in the meantime, you might enjoy looking at thousands of photos that we post every week on Pinterest. Our Pinterest page where you can find us is Residential Signs by the Sign Man. Well, thank you for visiting, and remember to like, subscribe, and share our videos with your friends, and I'll be seeing you later. Bye-bye. Thank you.